Have you ever been Mama Chernobyl, where who you want to be and how you're acting that moment is really different? I have been there. And today I'm talking about two different types of routines you can have in your day that will help with those ongoing repetitive tasks and also help you develop more rest in your life. Hey friend, do you feel frustrated or alone in your relationship? Or feel hopeless of life ever changing in your family? Would you love to become unstuck, learn to heal, and connect with what your heart enjoys? Well, I am so glad you're here. I'm Christina, married 16 years to a neurodiverse man, mom of 3, and many more roles. Welcome to the Women in Neurodiverse Relationships podcast. Grab your Sanity Latte, listen in as we take another small step on the journey of intentional living. Wrapping up our conversation from episodes 9 and 10 regarding our evening routine and our morning routine, but there is one important piece we still need to discuss, which is our daytime routine. And this can even go further, talking about time blocks and how you organize your day into sections. But at this point, just want to bring up the thought of your daytime routines and how by having good routines during the daytime, that can set you up for success for the evening and also for the morning. But also, what is the purpose of daytime routines? So first, I suggest daytime routines are important because there are tasks, whether you are at home, managing the home, or whether you are at work. There are certain tasks that recur frequently, either in a daily or weekly or maybe monthly basis. And those are routines that you have to accomplish for tasks. But in the same way, we also can have routines that help with our self-care during the daytime. By using both of them in harmony, we can find ways to make life a little less stressful for us during the daytime and also give the break that our body needs. Before I jump into this, I want to explain a little bit about the parasympathetic system. I've mentioned this in the past very briefly. Again, the parasympathetic system is one of our parts of our nervous system, which is incredibly important because this is the part of the system that is activated for us to rest and digest. And when you are in constant stress, hello, living in a neurodiverse family, that fits the definition. When you're in constant stress, your parasympathetic system oftentimes is not activated, which means when you eat food, you are not digesting food. If you don't digest food and if it doesn't break down, you are not absorbing nutrients, which means your body is not receiving what it needs to be energized and to function throughout the day. I myself know that I have had problems in the past with my digestive system and also with my sympathetic nervous system, which is oftentimes what is we think of in stressful situations, what is activated to give that energy to get through a stressful moment or stressful situation, which does have a place and time for. My guess is for many of us, is that our parasympathetic does not get a chance to shine very often. So my goal today is to help you find ways within your day to take rest breaks, have a resting routine, to find ways that you can give a chance for your parasympathetic system to be activated and to give your body and your brain the break that it really needs. Now, the suggestions I'm going to use are if you are at home. However, there are ways you can very easily implement this if you are in a work environment during the daytime. So the first thing to think through are what are some tasks that are very repetitive that you can automate within the home environment. One example I'll give you is the dishwasher. Every night, like clockwork, I ensure that the dishwasher is loaded and started before I go to bed. That is a very simple routine, and while I may miss it once in a great while, it causes chaos, I feel like, when we don't have it loaded up. But at night, we load up the dishwasher. The next morning, then, automatically my kids can go and begin the routine of unloading the dishwasher. Or if for some reason they are not able to, I'm able to do it. And that means then right after breakfast, the dishwasher is emptied, all clean dishes are put away, and I go into the morning with a dishwasher that can easily be loaded up, and another cycle can be ran during the daytime if it needs to be. But the goal always is that by the time I go to bed at night, the dishwasher has been loaded and started. And that routine helps tremendously for the next day. Another example would be laundry. And this works for items which you're okay if they get maybe some wrinkles in. So towels, napkins, sheets, maybe certain types of clothing items that you're not as concerned about. Like sometimes athletic gear can be very anti-wrinkle. And at night, before bed, I go to bed, I will start a load of wash and then I will throw it into the dryer. The next morning, it is ready to be folded and put away. And that's another example of putting things on automation for myself so that I don't even have to think about it. I just know at nighttime, there's 2 tasks that I'm doing. So the next morning, they are ready for me to dive in and get started in right away. Now, by having that automated, that means my brain is thinking less about what it needs to be doing. There's already tasks which are very common and repetitive already have a time slot within my day for me. And that helps tremendously. So think about what tasks that you do every day, no matter what. And is there a way that you can orchestrate it to be at a certain time of their day that it is accomplished? And maybe you attach another task with it. For example, if it's a dishwasher, it could be at night, you load the dishwasher and automatically you wash the counters. And you do this early enough in the evening so that you're able to do your evening routine, which is a goal to help you relax and set yourself up for success for a full, restful night's sleep. Now, as you're thinking about what are these tasks that you do on repeat, that you can have a chunk of time within your day that you just automatically do this, I also want you to think about, how do you feel during your day? Are there times of the day which are higher stress? Or are there times of the day when you know you are about to go into a high stress situation? One example is when the kids were in school and I knew that pickup time was coming up. There was a time frame around 2 o'clock or so, 2 p.m., where I could feel myself starting to become stressed, thinking through of the problems and the meltdowns that could happen as I'm going through that routine. And what I began doing was I would schedule a walk for myself before I would go and pick up the kids. Oftentimes it was outside in really bad weather. I needed to use a treadmill, but I found a relaxing activity to pair before I went into a stressful one. Now, obviously, this is not always possible because meltdowns and these outbursts can happen any time of the day, right? But when we know there is a high stress time of the day, usually it's transition times, right? Getting people out the door or bringing people home. And if your loved one was in another environment and in a situation where they had no control of their schedule and there's a lot of non-preferred activities, you know there's going to be either a meltdown or lots of anger or frustrations, and you can feel that building up and you thinking about picking them up. So let's load things up for your favor. Taking that walk before you go pick them up. Walking helps activate the parasympathetic system. It helps you get into that rest and digest mode for your body and brain. So think of the times of your day where you know I'm walking into a stressful moment, and what can you pair beforehand for that? Now, maybe for you, you're thinking, actually, afterwards, I'm okay walking into the situation, but afterwards, I'm a hot mess. Well, then that would be a great time afterwards to do something that'd be restful and restorative for yourself. This does not need to be a lengthy amount of time. As little as 3 minutes can help you to go from I'm about to explode and become Mama Chernobyl, going from there to bring yourself down into, you know what? I'm ready to go back into the ring and go back and work with my kids and with my husband. I'm ready for the challenges ahead. Here are some ideas to help you during the daytime, whether it's before or afterwards, to bring yourself back into a restful spot. Humming. It sounds maybe interesting, but humming or singing is one action which activates your vagus nerve. And I would suggest you go look up vagus nerve and parasympathetic nervous system because they will give you a much better description of how the two work together. But humming or singing activates the vagus nerve, and that can be incredibly helpful to bring yourself back into a peaceful moment. And if you're a person of faith, listening to worship music, how many songs does it take you to change from that attitude of just like, I am going Mama Chernobyl right now, to the point of, it is well with my soul and I am doing better. And if you're not a person of faith, think about your favorite song that you love. And it's on the radio, you just blast it and you love listening to it. What does that song do to you when you sing along with it? It changes your perspective. And that's an example of how humming or singing can really help change our whole perspective. Another one is gargling water. Gargling water can also help activate the vagus nerve, and it can be very relaxing doing that. I mentioned before walks, which that's a longer amount of time, but also deep breathing. And if you're a little concerned about it being kind of woo-woo weird type of stuff, the science has demonstrated what God's word has said for so long. Be still and know that I am God. Being still, slowing down, and taking deep breaths, there is amazing work that happens in our brain that reduces the stress. As simple as taking a deep breath in, very slowly, holding it for a moment, blowing out through your lips. So in through your nose, out through your lips, doing it very slowly, not in a rush at all. But doing that is great for your lymphatic system. It's great for your parasympathetic system. I have used this myself numerous times where I was becoming Mama Chernobyl and very frustrated over understandably things that were frustrating. As I mentioned in previous episodes, toothpaste volcano, the kids getting toothpaste everywhere, deciding that they wanted to write encouraging messages for me on the floor with a Sharpie. There's just so many things that they have done that that have been very frustrating. And by taking a break, 2-3 minutes of deep breathing. In fact, sometimes I have to hide in the bathroom because I need to find a spot where they can't find me and I can just do the deep breathing, relax. And now I am able to be back and engaged into the problem situations. I want you to consider what are some routines that, one, daily tasks that you can do. Get it off your mind. When you know that I'm going to be doing the laundry at this time of the day, I'm going to be doing my dishes, whatever chores that you have on repeat. When you give it a home, your brain is not thinking, I got to get this done. I need to figure out when I need to get this worked out. When's the time slot? It's already figured out for you. That right there helps your parasympathetic system. It has a time and a spot to be taken care of. Also, highly encouraging getting your kids involved with chores. It did take me a while, but the benefits have been tremendous, and getting them involved and having natural consequences if they do not help out. Again, we need to be able to delegate, assign times for when we do these routines. But the other part of it is you need that rest during the day. A couple different touch points. One of my favorite apps that I used probably started at least 3-4 years ago during the daytime is called Pause, Pause, by John Eldridge. That app has been tremendously helpful for me in the daytime. I remember when I first started and there was like a 3-minute pause, and I thought, me stopping for 3 minutes, like not moving, just listening to this app, it seemed unbelievable that I could do that. And I remember the first time I used it, and I was shocked at how calm I felt after those 3 minutes. So whether it's your kids deciding to go ahead and do experiments in the kitchen, in the microwave, or if it's a circular, frustrating conversation that you're having with your spouse, or it's just general life. By taking these breaks, we can bring ourselves back and engaged with people that we love, but also with ourselves, being our best self. Because I don't know about you, but I do not like it when I am in this attacking mode and just this frustration. The person that I want to be, how I want to respond to these situations, and the person I am, when there's that difference there, I need to find ideas and how I can bring myself back into alignment of who I value and who I want to be. So just a quick recap. We talked about 2 different types of routines in your day. One is repetitive tasks that are taking up your thoughts in your mind that you do on an ongoing basis, finding a general time that you will do it. Oftentimes right after you are awake and ready for the day. So not during your morning routine for yourself. Once you are ready for the day, you did your morning routine, are ready to be engaged in daily life activities, that is a great time to do some of these repetitive tasks. Also, other time marks in your day that are well established, such as lunchtime or before supper or after supper, those are great times to do these repetitive tasks and give them a time and a spot. The second part of the routine we talked about is your rest routine. How are you going to engage your parasympathetic system, your vagus nerve, so you can be resting small amounts of the day, just a small amount throughout the whole day, so it doesn't build up on you the frustration of dealing with all the different things that we have in a neurodiverse family. And again, some of the suggestions we gave was gargling water, humming or singing, deep breathing, taking a walk. There are so many different activities you can engage to help bring yourself in more of a relaxed lifestyle. Now, not that things won't still go wrong, because they do. Someone's food got cooked too long. Someone's favorite clothes are not clean. I mean, this type of stuff and the responses that happen, they will happen. We can't stop that, right? But we can at least take care of ourselves in providing that we are taking rest, especially if we know we're going into a stressful situation. The morning routine that you talked about on episode 10 can prepare you for going into a stressful morning block if you have younger kids, while the evening routine can help you de-stress from a stressful day. But during the daytime, we still need to do these items. I would love to hear from you if you have other ideas that you utilize to help yourself during the daytime when you are stressed, to bring you back into like your best self. I'm always looking for new ideas. Go ahead and send me a message, either a DM through Facebook or through Instagram. And I'm so glad that you joined me today as we are looking at how you can use your day intentionally to help have a restful moments. Hey, thank you for joining me today. I pray this episode gave you encouragement to take one small step. Would you be willing to help other women like you find this show? If so, leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like more information on living in a neurodiverse relationship, check the show notes on how we can connect.